The Calder Valley's always lived with water. Rain on the hills, runoff through the fields, the long brown river threading between stone towns. And people there learned early on. The valley gives, and sometimes it takes back. There was a time when it seemed to take more than usual. Floods, one after the other, and fields that were drowned before the harvest, livestock sick in low pastures, water pooling in fields where it had no right to be. And along the Calder itself, something began to move there that didn't belong. Not driftwood, not the current. Something longer. Something that turned against the flow. At first, it was only talk. The kind that spreads in damp weather. Quietly, from farm to farm. Someone claimed they'd seen movement in the river after dark. Just the back of it, breaking the surface for a moment. A black ridge sliding slowly beneath the water. Too large for any fish that the Calder had ever carried. Another man said he saw it from the towpath. Not the whole creature, just a length of it, moving slowly against the current. Long enough to make him stand still. Soon, the word began to pass from village to village along the valley. Quietly, carefully, as such words do. A Wyrm had taken to the river. Not the kind that you find in storybooks. No wings, no fire. This was an older kind of thing. A river creature. Long, heavy. Something that lived in deep water and fed where it pleased. They said it had come down from the hills, driven by the rain that had nowhere left to fall. They said it had grown in the dark hollows beneath the riverbanks, feeding, growing, learning the shape of the valley. And once the story took hold, everything seemed to belong to it. A sheep found dead near the water. The Wyrm. A cow gone missing from the lower field. The Wyrm again. Another flood rising through the valley towns. The Wyrm turning in its sleep. People began to watch the Calder more closely. Lanterns moving along the banks at night. Men standing where the water bent around the mills. Listening. Now, some swore that they saw it clearly. A long shadow moving beneath the surface. The slow coil of something too large for the narrow river. Others said that they heard it, a dragging sound against the river stones under the current. And once enough people believe that they've seen something, the thing becomes very difficult to dismiss. But the valley changes, as valleys do. Seasons turn, rain eases, fields dry. Livestock grow again, the floods become less frequent. The sickness passes through the farms and leaves. And slowly, the Wyrm begins to shrink in its telling. Soon, someone claimed that a man had gone looking for it. A stubborn soul from one of the villages, armed with iron and stubbornness. He followed the river until he found where the creature lay. And there, beside the Calder, he fought it. The battle grew larger every year, it was told. The Wyrm longer, the man braver. Until, at last, the valley had its ending. The creature slain, the river freed, and the land returned to its people. That's the story you'll sometimes hear in these hills. A hero, a monster, a valley saved. But even now, when the Calder runs high after weeks of rain, someone will say that they saw it turning beneath the surface, just for a moment. And in the Calder Valley, where the water's always done what it pleases, no one quite laughs when they say it. Giles, signing off.